Hello everyone, welcome to another Open Cluster Management Community Meetings. Today is November 7th, 2025. On the agenda today, we have a preserving and efficient AI model training across multi-cluster. It'll be presented by Shixiao Yu. But before I move to that topic, I think Summit, did you have something that you want to discuss? And Ann, did you want to have something that you want to share as well? I'm just opening the floor for anyone who wants to talk about any topic.
Yeah, I'm from Salesforce. I'm working with Anne and Youngbu, and I'm recently started on OCM. Mainly, the intention of me joining this call is try to understand that where we are in terms of perf scale and the basic metrics and monitoring being placed with OCM. I did see that there are a few things and few gaps, and other ACM or Red Hat OCM has a lot of information available. So, what's the plan? And then wanted to see that our effort for performance, how we are making progress, and can we leverage anything which open source community has already done that.
Okay, so there's two topics. One regarding the metric, and the second one is regarding performance.
Yep.
So can we talk a little bit about the performance first? We share some performance report in the Slack channel.
Right.
Um, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I do look into the numbers and the information being provided. One of the thing which I found is that the most of the benchmark has been done by config map. Config map is one of the very less impactful manifest. What would I say that? So I would like to first understand that is that the benchmark, or have you done some heavy lifting like deployment and other stuff, or more than a single workload as part of this perf test?
Right. QJang, do you know if we've done other performance testing? I know we have done many performance testing on ACM, but unfortunately, when I talk to the performance engineer from ACM, obviously some of those numbers cannot be sure that easily. And we
Mm,
have, and I mean, we ha- um, yeah, I don't even know how to phrase it properly.
so I think the reason, yes, so I think the reason that we use config map is the first reason is we don't have enough resources to to always run like thousands or like 10 of thousand deployment. And the focus for that performance test is on the pressure on the manifest work. And for the manifest work, mainly the pressures is on the hub side, like the how many objects it could be created there, and if you have like 1,000 agent connect to the hub, is there any impact on the hub cluster? So I would say the difference between a config map or the deployment for the hubs impact will not be that large. But
Okay.
I got your point. We do
So
have some, yeah.
a little bit my background. I came from Argo family. I've been involved in the Argo workflow scale as well as Argo rollout time frame is as well as Argo CD. So that's the reason I'm asking those questions. And we are starting with config map because we have built our own performance lab or performance infrastructure. So we will start with that, but I would rather try to experiment a bit more on the deployment and rollout, and we have few of the scenarios. So just probably it will be piggyback on what you have, and on top of what we
Mm.
can do it in the Salesforce, because our use cases are a bit different than
Yes.
validating the config map.
Yes, I think so. I think we could discuss about so we could discuss about the patterns like
Sure.
the workload patterns that you want to test. I mean, for us, the main concentrations previously is about the number of clusters, but not
Oh.
the number of workload per cluster. So we run we run a performance test with like thousands of clusters, but for each cluster, the workload is like only maybe 20 or tens. Uh,
Mm.
in summary, it will be like 10K or 20K workload, 20K objects on the top side, but in each managed cluster, the workload is not that much. It's mainly to mimic like the edge case, or in the telco case, you have like 5G RAN, and each will have a very small cluster, but we want to manage all these small cluster in a thousands of small cluster in a big control plane. But that might not be same as your
Yeah.
workload pattern. So if we have already created any issues on that, I think we can discuss about the patterns and like how we want to test on that. That will also be very helpful.
Sure. So we will do that, and we will share that, because Salesforce, how our use case is more about not to creating 50 or 500 kind of clusters, because we have another way. But what we would try to see that 3 cluster, 5 cluster, or 9 cluster, or 15 clusters at how many workload we can do that. So the use
Yeah.
case, what you are doing in terms of workload, kind of a same, but we wanted to do it or pressurize from single hub with
Yeah.
limited cluster.
Yeah, yes. I think something that might also be interesting is about the rolling out, like the things that I think you are mostly interested. I think that could be also part of we haven't done that before, but that could also be some part to be in the performance test.
Sure. And I will been working on the perf and load for controllers been a while, and I have used something. So all that will probably share that, and once we have get approval in our group for carrying out the test, I will probably share in one fine day on this channel what and how we did and what all our learnings.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, echoing what Q said, that'll be excellent for the community. So thank you, Sam. So I want to go back to your second question, but I got Joydeep here, who's our staff engineer from Red Hat, who's a master on observability and metrics, etc. Could you repeat the question that you have so that he gets a little bit more background context?
Yeah, so the second question which I have posted, that is more around how we are actually getting the metrics out of that. We do get so first and foremost is that I think few links are broken. Probably I can open that small issue or fix that. But more towards that, the default metrics what we are getting in OCM is not being enabled. I see in ACM there are things available. But I don't know what's the difference between ACM and OCM, because I believe ACM is a more Red Hat version of OCM.
That is
Correct.
correct.
Right. So, and in ACM, actually, we add the observability add-on, which actually runs an additional add-on on the managed cluster, which is collecting data from the Prometheus of the managed cluster, and then forwarding it to a Thanos instance on the hub cluster. That's how we get the data. That
God.
is not there on the OCM side yet. We didn't do anything. But Chojan, you'd like to add something?
Oh yeah, so I think there is two part. One is about the matrix of the um, OCM itself, like the controller matrix in OCM, how many managed clusters, how many add-ons, like the status change of the add-ons. and manage cluster. That's one matrix for the control plane. And there's another aspect is workload matrix that is managed by the OCM. So
Right.
for yes, for the second one in the ACM, there we use Sanus, and in OCM we have a new add-on called Open Telemetry Agent OTel add-on.
Okay.
Uh, in the add-on country but that is mostly to monitor like workload and the managed cluster itself matrix, not the control plane side. So which part are you looking at? Like, is that control plane matrix or it's like workload matrix or managed
So
clusters?
mainly the pressure is on the controller. So we would first try to get and see that how much controller is able to handle that. And anything which is already available, I think Joy you mentioned and others you mentioned about that adding the add-on. If that is a thing which is not out of the box is there, would love to get the add-on for metrics and then probably try it out. Salesforce does have a default collection metrics, which is something very similar where we push the data to internal metrics lake. And from there, we can derive that, which is something very similar that the Prometheus Thanos kind of setup.
Right.
Mm.
But Chojan, the control plane metrics, aren't they available on the Hub Prometheus already?
We don't have that hub Prometheus in OCM. We do have that in the ACM. There are some metrics, but um, so to so the main objective of the matrix in ACM for the hub control plane is to register to Red Hat service, so the Red Hat service can know something about how many clusters is deployed in this platform or that for platform. Partly also for the business purpose, but for the performance part of the control plane, we have some controller matrix for each controller. Um, so each controller have the matrix endpoint. So to expose like the queue depths, uh, the number of reconcile that has been happened, how many error reconcile, etc. Um,
Yeah, so I see all those things have been in kind of proposed thing. So I did mention that in the links. So there are existing stuff already there in 1.0, but I think probably that might be we might need to expose it. That I got it.
yes,
But
yeah.
apart from that, there are few proposed metrics already available. I'm not sure whether we have implemented those in part of OCM or not. Like you mentioned about error counts and other stuff.
No, we don't. We don't in the OCM, but we probably could move some code from
Okay.
ACM to here, and we can collaborate on that. Like it might not be fully the design matrix as you want in the
No,
ACM.
I would love to collaborate in that. And if you want me to look and just try to move the stuff, I could do that because
Mhm.
that's one of our use case. And we have fork the OCM. We don't have a local copy, so we would try to see that what's available in OCM and try to leverage that out of the box in place of making a sugar coating in our code base.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be great because we did have plans to, move some of the stuff
Yep.
from the ACM to the OCM. And there's
Right.
nothing really hide, like we're not hiding any code behind a private repo on the ACM side, right? It's just the stuff there, as QJang said, is a little bit more coupled with Red Hat. So it doesn't make sense to bring it over to the CNCF OCM or that's all. But all the stuff is there to open source. Feel free to take a look, and then absolutely we love it if we're able to get something out of it into OCM community. So thank you so much for taking a look at.
And from my company has already joined that call.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, if so, are you like saying that there are metrics sort of around like if the managed cluster is down, if the connectivity is working, like those things do exist in ACM, or is that something that hasn't been added? I'm assuming it's there because I feel like that's a important thing, but I just wanted to know if there's somewhere we should look for those things.
So, and actually, Joy has given some overview around that. They have add-on, I think, in the way how we have implemented the add-on has
Yeah, the open telemetry add-on, right?
exactly. So we first need to enable that, try to see what all being there. And then they mentioned that in ACM, there are a few more things they have implemented, and they said that we can put that code in OCM. That's the second step. And then third is that whatever is proposed, which is missing, they are saying that we need to go and add that.
Right now, one question for you guys. Are you running the hub server as OpenShift or EKS or something like that?
Manage cluster EKS as of now, but
Hub?
we are not going to run on OpenShift to best of my knowledge.
Okay.
But we are using managed clusters as of now from AWS or probably in the Google.
And the hub
Hub is running as one of the EKS.
as one of the EKS. Okay, okay, all right. Okay, so there is no Prometheus there installed by default.
Yep. So we manage our own provisioning and we manage all the add-ons or the controller on given cluster. That's a little bit proprietary for Salesforce, but that's the way how we usually do that. It's more about annotation. We enable the annotation, sidecar comes with the hub, and we will start using the
Okay.
same way how you are using the Prometheus.
Okay, okay. So now if you look at the telemetry add-on, you can look at the code. The hotel is configured to remote write to the Prometheus on the hub cluster. I think that we can change it to configure it to remote write it anywhere else. I mean, it's remote writing, so hotel can sync data to lots of places.
Got it. Yeah, probably Jay, I will async on that thread.
Yeah.
I don't want to take more time on that. But yeah, thanks a lot for all the input. Joy and others have provided that.
Very well.
No, thank you. And thank you, Joydeep, for joining on such short notice.
No
I
worries.
think, yep, sorry. So I made a mistake. I thought there was a presentation, but that's actually for the next community meeting. And did you want to talk a little bit about the manifest work issue? Or I mean the manifest work replica set issue that you have?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about, I think we've been sort of talking about it on
Yep.
in the issue. I think Chiu Jian, you've been replying to me sort of about that.
Do you want to share the screen or I
Yeah,
can
let
share this?
me
Oh, it's up to you. Yeah, if you can share, that would be great.
see if it's showing error messages. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I can share.
Okay, thanks. I think I haven't used Zoom in a long time, so
Let me check which one to share.
I think there's the MWR status expectation one, and then I think there's a few enhancements as well. But and then I also wanted to talk. I saw that there are 2 PRs by by Ting Hao, and I wanted to see, like, I think that's based on like the discussions we're having about the rollout issues. Anyway, so those are sort of things that I wanted to talk about.
So this is one of the issue that
Yeah, this is the one. So I think this one, I wanted to understand for placement rolled out. Right now it shows basically true once the manifest works have been applied onto the cluster is what I understand. Because I think the code, it sets it once like once all of the clusters have been selected, but it doesn't check whether the manifest is successfully deployed. What I mean by successfully deployed means that progressing would be equals to false and then degraded equals to false or not set, right? So I guess I wonder is that the intention, like placement rolled out just cares about whether it's been deployed onto all the selected clusters, but it doesn't care about what the state of that is.
No, I don't think so. I think there's some gap here. Yeah, I don't think so. I think this should be same as what you have described.
Okay. So we probably want to make the placement rolled out. It will keep it as false if there's some bad image, even if it's on both clusters. That's sort
Yes.
of okay. Okay, so that's one. I guess I can, after we discuss, I can file these as like
Yeah.
issues. But yeah, okay. And then I guess I also was wondering if there was a reason why total, I think this is what we were talking about, but like why total refers to the total of number of manifest work currently deployed as opposed to the desired count. Because I think I saw that there was some comments in the code that said like we set it as the selected clusters for some reason. I don't know if you had more context on that.
Uh, Actually, I don't remember why. I think both number makes sense. I mean, I think both number makes sense. I think previously the reason is that we can know the number of the selected cluster from the placement, like there is a number of clusters in the placement.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know, for example, in a large cluster, we don't know how many has been deployed. So, but
But I think there's
so,
also count, right? I think there's available. That's what I was thinking.
yes.
But available, I guess why didn't uh, I guess is there a difference between available and total right now?
Right, right.
Okay.
Total just means that we have created manifest work, but
Okay.
available means the manifest work, the desired result, the desired resource is
Resources.
available on a cluster.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, it is possible that the work agent is not working, so you will not get, you will create the manifest work successfully, but you will not get like applied or available status. So that's
Okay.
just, yeah, so that could be some difference.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay, then and then I guess like how that since we talked about how like placement rolled out and how we maybe want to like fix the behavior of that to say only if like everything is if manifest work applied is as expected, then the placement rolled
Yeah.
out will be set to true.
Yes.
So I think I started a enhancement proposal for the ready and progressing status. Um,
That's all right.
yeah, and I guess in that case, it sounds like ready can be replaced by placement rolled out if we fix that
Yes.
logic,
Yes.
right? And we don't need to create a new ready status, and then we can just add the progressing. Also, we'll add more. I think Yongbu has been working on the rollout enhancement, and
Mhm.
he's gonna suggest like more of the conditions for progressing. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So then ready sounds like we might not need ready then because we can use placement rolled out if we fix that um
Yeah.
expectation there.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Then I'll update the enhancement and then the issue to summarize kind of what we talked about. Um and then then one last thing going back, sorry, I'm kind of flipping between the two issues, but for the manifest work applied, I think there's one more bug, which I'm not sure if it's expected or not, which is that let's say the manifest work, it's targeting, or the placement's targeting two clusters, and
Hmm.
then it completes the rollout on the first cluster, but it has the waiting time of 2 minutes or min success time of some period. In that waiting time, right now, I noticed that the manifest work applied will show as expected. And I'm not sure if we wanted to show processing while it's in that waiting time, or is it expected that we show as expected? Because technically, the manifest work has been correctly applied to that single cluster, but it's just not done yet. So what I'm what I'm saying is like basically manifest work applied would show true, placement rolled out will show false. And is that and that would be the status like while it's still progressing basically through the rolled out results.
I think so. I'm not sure whether Haoqing has other opinion, but I think so. I think applied is the so the applied doesn't really uh relate to maybe I don't know, but to me I think applied doesn't relate to the rolling out. It just means that the work agent is working correctly or there's no for example, API server issue or permission issues. And so but basically you can call the API server to create a resource, but it doesn't mean anything for whether the workload is rolling or something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So I think then in the latest change by Hao Qing, like the one from I think 2 weeks ago, um, I think we were like the update was changing the reporting of the manifest work applied, but maybe
Mhm.
that should have been the logic should have been on the placement rolled out, probably sounds like.
Yeah.
Because like when it's rolling out, then we just leave the manifest work applied alone, and then we have some sort of new field that shows. I mean, maybe we didn't need
Mm.
another status, which will be progressing the one that um
Yes.
suggesting, and then we leave placement rolled out and manifest work applied in the like leave it alone in the previous behavior, basically, probably, or manifest work applied. We'll leave it as is before. We don't track the basically we don't track the condition rules in the as expected or not as expected. That's probably what
Yes.
I'm thinking. I guess does Hao Ting, do you have any opinions? Because I know you were the one making the change about the manifest work applied status when you did the PR change.
Yeah, yesterday I create a new PR. So
Mm-hmm.
today you check the manifest work. We will check both if manifest work is applied and progressing is false and degraded is true. And we will also check if these three conditions observed generation is the
Mm-hmm.
same. And with these three conditions satisfied, we will treat it as success. And then if the soak time, the mini success time is defined, we will calculate the time based on the last transaction time of progressing.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw both PRs. I think that makes sense, the applied condition. I can try testing it out as well. I looked at the change you made. Um, but I guess what I was wondering is like for manifest work applied status, the
Mhm.
I think we updated that or you updated that in the last PR to say processing when if the condition rule is still progressing equals true, then we update that to say processing. So based on what Chiu Jian is saying, um it sounds like we might want to keep that as like keep the logic out of the manifest work applied and move it to a different status. Like if it's trying to apply trying to check for the condition rule, like don't put it into the manifest work applied status. I'm not sure if I'm making sense.
I feel that is more simpler. I mean, previously we don't have another con role, so I think
Yeah,
that
yeah,
even that we have to consider it in the applied
yeah,
condition.
yeah, yeah.
But
Okay,
yeah, but with the new conditions, I think we can make it much simpler.
okay, okay, okay. I think that makes sense then. Um, okay. I think that's the only thing. Oh, the one last thing. Oh, I'll reply to your comments on the feedback scrape type. Is there anything you wanted to discuss? I can reply to async. I know you have left some comments.
No, I think the two proposals we have made is great. So I like so for the feedback part. do you want to like to just remove the WIP, the work in progress in the title? So we can actually, I think we can merge it somehow
Yeah,
next week.
I think I removed it earlier today. Just removed it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Let me check though. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Great.
yeah.
But it's still in draft. Or I think you have to
No,
mark it as ready.
No, that's the
no.
Oh,
other.
that's a different one. Okay.
Yeah, I'll update that one based on what we discussed with the placement rolled out. And then I'll change it to be ready.
Yeah.
And
So for
then,
the
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so sorry. So for the feedback part, I think I have some idea about how to construct a dynamic informer. Maybe I will try to build some code and share to you to get you I just to make sure whether it makes sense to you.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I'll try it on my side too. I've been trying to work on something so we can see if it like
Yeah.
aligns like what we're both thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay,
Thank you.
cool. Thank you. Yeah, thanks also Hao team for the quick fixes. I saw that the two PRs, so appreciate it.
And thank you, Anne, for all your work. Discovering the issues and of course the enhancement proposal as well. I mean, it's something that we are really interested in. Summit mentioned something in the chat. Have we done chaos testing for OCM? If so, what do you have the result capture? What test case we've covered?
I need to ask one of our tester around that. I thought he did something about that, but I'm not quite sure.
Got it. So I come from a background. I was one of the maintainer for Litmus, who is one of the another open source for Chaos. So during that time, we have leveraged a lot of Chaos related stuff, and Salesforce does have a lot of Chaos initiative going because we want resiliency as one of the top priority. So I'm driving the chaos also for OCM because we wanted to make sure that it is resilient. So wanted to leverage if open source community already done some work or something has been being already available. I could look into that in my scenarios and then try to see that if something we are missing so that I can add or contribute.
I absolutely, I love it. I was trying to do chaos testing all the time, but there's no, I don't have much experience on that.
Okay, no worries. So probably when I get my test plan being reviewed and approved, probably I will share and then probably share it with this community that what all we are going to do, the result and other stuff. But mainly I'm looking into that if controller goes down, how the things will work, if workload goes down, or if a hub spoke is down, how the things are doing, how the balancing of happening, HAs, API and other stuff. So I will keep you guys posted. I have done some initial draft based on my prior experience as well as Salesforce has done. So let's see how that one is coming. So I need to start fresh, which is not a, which is good actually in the sense.
Sounds great, Summit. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so on to the topic today. QJ, do you want to talk about the add-on and Quintel, or we want to do it next week, or how do you want to tackle it? We have about 9 minutes left.
I don't think we have enough time for that, actually.
That's okay. I mean, this has been a really great discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Joy
can
Deep,
do it next time.
did you have any? While Summit's here, do you have anything that you want to discuss with Summit or additional questions?
No, not for now. Not for now. But I
Great.
think as he does more work and as he sees, I think we'll keep on talking.
synchronously through the call and asynchronously. Absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sumit and Anand.
Okay, I think we're about to wrap it up for today. Anyone have any last minute comments, questions? Well, thank you all for joining. See you all next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.